Yo, what's up? Mic check, 1 2 1 2. It is your host with the most. I am Trey Turner, and I am back for another episode of the Smoke 2.0 podcast. And listen, now that quarantine is kind of over, we're going to do it big. We're going to step it up a bit, right? So I decided to bring in some guests, ones that I like to highlight, the true hustlers, people who start their own business, people who, make something out of nothing. And we all try to center it around mind, body, and spiritual healing. And we're going to give you that raw truth, as always. So, today, I have the wonderful, the talented, the beautiful Malika Miller. Come on in. Welcome.
Thank you so much for the intro. I appreciate it. It's a nice intro.
I was doing like my best, like a little, what's that guy? Johnny Carson.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I like it. I dig it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, the show is normally focused around, like, mind, body, spiritual healing, like I said before. Mm-hmm. So, we're going to start off with, like, a mental check-in. So, Where are you? Like, how you doing in your head right now?
Oh, I'm doing great. When COVID first hit, though, I can't lie.
Yeah.
Me and my girl, we were like, the first 2 weeks, it's going to be cute. It's going to be great. It's going to be, we
Right.
do a little break, little rest, get our workouts in. And, I traveling back and forth from Miami constantly. So
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it. And then that third week, fourth week, that's when I started losing my mind. And that's when it was like, when is this ending? I wasn't feeling too good, definitely.
I feel like a lot of people, like, started to lose their minds. So, like, It's not even, like, don't even trip about that.
No, I didn't enjoy. I need some type of motivation in the morning. I like to... It's New York mentality. I want to hustle.
Facts. That's kind of why I, like, started this shit, too. So, I'm just like, let's do it.
Great.
But, like, let's get into, like, a little bit, like, about how it started off, like, growing up and, like, why you got into modeling and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I went to the College of New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Shout out to College of New Jersey. And I played on the basketball team. I wasn't really getting along with the coach.
Right.
Push come to shove, we thought it was best that I leave / kind of got kicked off. And so I figured, to let off some steam, I wanted to go visit my girl at Hooters. And
I always go to Hooters to
the crab legs. The crab legs. My
that's
favorite.
what you go for. But,
right. So then I ended up working there, and everyone there was like, well, what are you going to do when you graduate? At that time, I thought I was going to be in music business or my major communications. I had no clue really. Mm-hmm. And everyone was like, well, why don't you try modeling? You seem tall, you're very pretty, why don't? And I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot. And Hooters has like the pageants, the bikini stuff.
Absolutely.
All that. So yeah, that's kind of where it began. And next thing I knew, I was signed in an agency in PA.
Word. And like, were you always like, cause I like, what's real big now is like body positivity. And I always try to like, encompass that in one of my shows. Like, were you always positive and confident in your body? And like, what would you say to like other young girls or other, even young men? Sometimes they deal with it too, like about self-image and confidence.
I think I'm still not at that point. I think things like Instagram. Yeah. We have all these apps to edit, and you see these certain images, advertisements, and everyone wants to have this some mostly unattainable look. Mm-hmm. I think when I first began modeling, I was so focused on trying to be this small little thing, because at the time it was, you want to be 5'9", 5'10", and you want to be, size 2, and I was always curvy. So it, and see, some people, like the average person would be like, you, girl, you're not curvy.
I'm looking at you, I'm like, yo, you got to go down south a little bit.
In the field, it's not the same. Right. So I'm really happy though, because the industry has definitely, it's more accepting of every body, every body, literally. Yeah. So that's nice.
Do you ever fear that it's just like, like a trend? Because I remember you telling me about your business. Like, you work with like mainly like kids and younger people, right. And so they're gonna grow into their bodies eventually. So do you think like it's just like a money maker, like, yeah, we want big girls, or we want this, or we want this type, or whatever?
I think people are just fed up. I think people are sick of seeing one type of image. And I think back then, and by back then I mean up until recently, people are sick of seeing just a particular, I'm not going to, name specifically, but sick of seeing a particular type of image. And I think now it's like, we want to see the freckles. We want to see, dark people. We want to see people with maybe some skin, deformations or whatever the case is. We want to see all that. We don't want to, you gotta appeal to everybody.
Nah, I feel that, and definitely because I remember like when we spoke on the we did that little FaceTime intro.
Right.
You were talking about inclusion and representation.
It's
and
so
how
important.
Much it matters, and just like even from like our currency, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we have yet to see like. Hopefully Harriet Tubman gets on there, but
put
you know
Obama on a bill.
Right, put Obama on a bill. But it also represents like value, like money represents value, and we don't see our representation on there. So like, why is it so important for you to like really push representation in people of color, perhaps, and of all shapes and sizes as well?
I mean, being that I am a woman of color, I think that's the number one. Also, the ladies that I do know in this industry and the conversations we've had, you know, I hear some of the horror stories where they've been sitting at a casting and they're sitting there for an hour, almost 2 hours, for, you know, the casting director to come out and say, oh, hey, I'm sorry, we're not looking for anyone black. Sorry, take care. And it's like, she's been on that couch that whole time. You weren't going to say anything.
Yeah.
And even then, like, you know, then why is she here then if that's not what you're looking for? Something went wrong then with her agent or with the casting director, the communication. So I think it's important. And I'm sorry, but the field of modeling, it's when it comes to the ethnic girls, the black girls, and the Spanish girls, it is 10 times harder. Yeah. It is. It is much, much harder. If you look at these boards that the agencies have, it's kind of leaning to one side. I think it's slowly but surely, you know, broadening, but... Yeah.
But, and then again, that's also like the power of social media too, because it gives those people a voice. Because I know for me, like even as an actor, like being in those audition rooms, and sometimes you'll get, hey, act blacker or whatever.
Right.
And they ain't never been black a day in their fucking life. But they're trying to tell you how to act, or they'll make you wait, and it's like some form of control.
Yes.
But social media kind of just like stepped in and was just like, hey, you know what? Let's give the people control. Yeah. So how important is your social media to you?
Well, to be really,
when do you
really
cut
honest,
it off too?
To be really honest, I'm not a huge fan of the social media. I don't have Twitter, for example. We had to get up off Twitter because it was just young stuff from back in the day. Yeah, so we grew up. But I think I'm just... There's Earth and then there's Instagram. Right. I like to be on Earth. I'm a 90s baby. I like to talk. I want to see, you know, I know you said you have the Skype interviews. I don't want a Skype interview. I want to see you. I want to be able to, you know.
And that was, honestly, that was so refreshing because, like, just from your energy, it seems like, because I can be the same way. It's just, like, a dominant personality. And when you, you can't replace, like, a face-to-face ever.
No.
So I'm like, what, like...
The authenticity is just so much better.
Yeah, absolutely. It just bothers me sometimes, but we get past it.
Right. But so for the sake of my business, I'm Malibu on Instagram. My business is Signed NYC. For the sake of both of those, I have been on my phone more than I like to be. I think it's kind of brainwashing in a way, but I have to for the sake of advertisement and... You know, I am a brand. Absolutely.
And that's just what I was about to hop into.
There you go.
Your brand.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about it. Like, tell us, I think you told us why representation was important, but what made you want to start Signed NYC?
So everyone was telling me, friends, family, you know, are you going to start an agency? Because there are times where I've hooked friends up who are models, like, hey, there's a model who's supposed to be on the set right now. She's not here. They're desperate at this point. Can you pull up last minute? And you know, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. That's how I've been in this modeling world. I have a lot of friends still. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to start a modeling agency. There's enough of those. I don't want to compete with, you know, I'm still repped by, you know, Elite, for example. I'm not going to try and compete with them. They're going to be like, you're going to take all our clients and then start hiring your models. And I don't want to conflict with my personal stuff. So I said, why don't I start something to help people get signed? A lot of people from my hometown reached out, hey, you know, I'm interested in getting into modeling. How, where, what, I don't even know where to begin. And so I figured, you know what? And I'm giving all this free advice out, you know, let me capitalize on it, of course, all about the money. But at the same time, it's also my way to give back because I've had so much help in my modeling career. And I've done so much research because there's a lot of scams out there, a lot of creep photographers.
And you know, and that's the thing, too, because it's just like, it comes to a point where you're just like, all right, I have to take care of myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I have to step up and be my own person. So what was that moment for you like when it when you first, because I saw a video, you like signed like a leasing office and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
our
I was
studio,
like, I
right.
thought that was dope. Yeah.
Thank you. So you mean like the initial?
Yeah, like the feeling and like when you said to yourself like, "Yo, I'm finally stepping up and like into something
into the
that I
business
want."
world?
Yeah.
Terrifying. I think it's still a little terrifying. Trying to, to become a businesswoman, especially when I've been modeling for X amount of years now, maybe like 7, 8 years, trying to step into now becoming a businesswoman and making sure, everything's taken care of financially, making sure my team is set. Shout out to my team. Y'all are great.
Shout out to
And things like that. So it's definitely terrifying. I have my own place and my own bills, and then you're taking on, a whole nother venture.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of any business, it's definitely not easy, but it's worth it, especially if you keep, the persistence at the end of the day.
Yeah. So and you know what? Like I watch like a lot of master classes. You ever check those out? And Anna Wintour.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta
Incredible.
say, she's like my 5th favorite white woman in this world.
Okay.
I met her at the Met Gala. She was so sweet to me. I didn't attend, but
That's
I was
amazing.
just like, yeah, I was working it. I was a
Oh,
bus
so
boy.
how you get the ticket?
Yeah, 100,000. Right. What do you call it? But she said in this one of her videos, she said, it's so important to stay in your own lane because if you look at someone else, it's gonna throw you off.
Right.
So
Mind your business.
right, mind your business, then tell other people to mind theirs. How do you like navigate through life, or like do you navigate through life with that mindset, kind of like just I'm gonna stay in my own lane, I'm gonna focus on my business, and that's all?
I think I just. That's a great question. I think I always try to be, I guess, in some way different. I think especially in the world of everyone's trying to do the same thing. Not everyone, but there's a lot of people who want to be the models, who want to run businesses, and people are doing this. I just try my best to stay in, I guess, my lane. Like I said, minding my business, but still having a little bit of sprinkle of special.
Yeah.
So that's why even with Signed, it's so different from an actual modeling agency. And some people get confused. They're like, "Oh, I want to be part of Signed. How do I get a contract?" I'm like, "No, we're not an agency. We just get you there."
Yeah.
So even that is just that extra little bit of sprinkle that's a play on things that already exist, but making it my own.
Right.
So it's not
and
like being original.
Right. I mean, but like nothing's new under the sun. And
Right.
like the reason why I like appreciate efforts like that is because there's a difference between like there's knowledge and then there's wisdom. Like we have this thing in our hand and we can look up anything
Right.
that we want to, but sometimes people just don't know what to look up.
Yes.
So like a business like yours where you step in and like you gotta, hey, if you're gonna do your research, search this, that. I think like that's just
Thank
like
you.
super cool.
I mean, we're the one-stop shop. We try to make it as simple as possible. You come to us, we take the photos, I guide you through. It's basically I'm literally holding your hand, walking you through an intro of the industry. And in hopes to get signed. It's in the name.
And not get fucked over in the process too.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. The business, we talked about it. You being a black woman in the entertainment industry, how representation matters. And black female bosses matter.
They're coming up.
Always. They've been here, they've been existing, but now there's more access.
Super come up right now.
Absolutely. Sure. In terms of like the whole like Black Lives Matter and just everything that's going on right now. How do you feel about it like while starting a business?
It's empowering. It's nice to know that people care. My mother is an Irish immigrant, and funny enough, she's been going super, super hard to try and do something to give back and to be more knowledgeable about Black culture and things like that. So she's been doing a 21-day challenge, for example. And each day she learns something new and different, and she's kind of put together her friends in a group. She'll be starting some shirts, and with the sales of these shirts, she's going to give a scholarship to a kid in Montclair who's, of course, got to be Black.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. Even in my home, I see it. My mom having this extra push to, white people got to do something.
Yeah.
It's about time. So it's definitely empowering. It's a great feeling, and not to mention the fact that I don't discriminate in my business.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're purple, yellow, black, white, Oreo. It's come to me. We'll make it happen.
I love that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So we're also going to get into like this little thing that I do at the end. It's like a speed round. It's super, super, super duper fun. But what I want to ask you first, stepping out of your comfort zone is a really, really big thing for me. And starting a business, that's definitely stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So how do you, force yourself or bring yourself to step out of your comfort zone? And then if you ever get stressed, how do you manage that?
So how to step out of a comfort zone, I just can't sleep at night, or I won't be able to. Let's say, now I'm 70 years old, right? And just sitting there and being with like my grandchildren or whoever and just saying like, I had that idea. I wish I would have done it. I wish I shoulda, woulda, coulda. The shoulda, woulda, coulda will haunt me.
Yeah.
And I got one life. I'm going to make it happen because that'll haunt me for sure.
For real.
So that's where the push comes from.
Absolutely, because I always say to myself, like, I always regret the things, like, whenever I had an opportunity to do something, and I just missed out on it or, like, pussied out or something. I'm just like, God, I could kill myself. But not really. I'm not suicidal.
Yeah, that's no.
So what are your, like, goals with this business?
Well, it's going to be big. I don't doubt that. It's going to be big. I want it to be helpful. I want to be that entity in the modeling world that, you went through that, so you're authentic. Like, you're going to be good. You're going to get signed. Or, I know that they take the care and pride in their work, because we do. My team definitely does that. We make sure things are straight. We make sure it's easy. There's no games. There's no gimmicks. There's no scams. I want to be that. I want to be that pure business that people really look to for modeling help.
Awesome. And like, how do you manage your team? Like, you have a pretty diverse team so far.
So there's 3 of us. So I have my photographer Carl, I have my hair and makeup artist Sky, and then there's me. And we've already been friends, so that's the great part. So that we all have a nice foundation, family foundation, and everyone just stays in their lane. I like to listen, and I value my team. So it's if Sky's saying, should we do this on the hair? Should we do that? I'm like, well, what do you think is best?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that's not my realm. That's her realm. Yeah. So I'm going to take her opinion first before my own.
Absolutely.
So that, and then Carl is from my hometown. We actually went to high school together. Okay. And, he came to me a couple years ago and said he really wanted to get into photography. I said, let's work with it. Let's find your light. That makes sense. And he just found this light that's so beautiful to me, and I believed in him. He believed in me.
Wait, so you helped him with photography, or you helped him kind of get into?
He had started, but I was like, let's elevate this, because I always keep it a buck. I'm not going to be like, you're ready. Let's start shooting models. I was like, we got to step it up a little bit, and he did just that, and he did it in a day. I was so impressed, and then I said, why don't you shoot me? He shot me. I was blown away by the photos. Elite used the photos in my portfolio. That's when I knew. I said, okay. You already made it to the agency site. Let's start this. And he believed in it. And if someone believes in you, you're gonna be rocking with me.
Absolutely, I love that. And like, that's this whole thing, and what you're doing is great.
Thank you.
So we're gonna jump into this speed round. Okay. All right, are you ready for this?
I don't know what this is.
Like, honestly,
let me sit up.
It's so hard. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Okay. But
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna give you 2 options, and you got to answer it right off the top of your head. Don't think. Don't hesitate.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see.
Question 1. Favorite type of alcohol?
Tequila.
Money or love?
Money.
Favorite post-quarantine activity?
Favorite post-quarantine activity? I guess going outside to the park. There's not much activity to do.
North Jersey or South Jersey?
Oh my God, North Jersey. Don't ask me nothing like that. I'm sorry. Don't ask me nothing like that.
I love all of Jersey, but like,
shout out to Jersey, but
it's
North
a different
Jersey.
State.
North Jersey.
Right. What brings you peace?
That's a hard one. What brings me peace?
Well, what brought you peace during quarantine? Put it that way.
My friends.
Your friends.
My friends.
Awesome. Same. When I wake up, I
brush my teeth.
Of course. What are you grateful for?
My family, my father especially.
Would you rather have the ugly truth or beautiful lie?
Can I do a mixture of both?
Nah.
Fugly, truth lie.
Yeah. Fugly.
Nah, give me the truth. Let me hear it.
But it's the ugly truth.
It stings. It stings the soul. Yeah, you want to just let me know. Give it to me,
right? And then we just gonna do a little mental check-in. Where you at now? Like post interview, 10 minutes later, how are you feeling? Like after?
I mean, like I said, I'm great. I'm doing well. I'm glad that things are starting to open back up. Right. I'm excited for my team. I'm excited for the year 2021, but we're going to close out 2020 with a bang.
Everybody was so excited for 2020, and I was too. I was just like, it's another
year. I liked the way the numbers looked.
Yeah.
And it just didn't go as planned.
It's been eventful.
But yeah.
Now is your time to shine. Thank you so much for doing that speed round.
Of course. Yeah, that was not as bad as I thought it
was. What do you want to promote? Anything you want to promote? So your Instagram, all that good stuff.
I'm really big on promoting Signed right now. I'm not even concerned about my own personal. They are both linked, but Signed to NYC. So Signed_NYC. Check us out. Our website's on there. We have free consultations this Saturday and Sunday. DM for info. And that's really about it. All the info is on the Instagram for the most part. And with any questions or anything, just reach out. You can reach out to my personal page, which is on Signed, or the Signed page. We get back to you quick.
Word. You heard it here on the Smoke 2.0 podcast. Listen, thank you so much, Malika.
Of course, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Of course.
Hey.
Anytime.
Oh, this is dangerous now. I don't know.
When I first saw her, I kind of fist bumped her.
So, you're my hand, Sandy. Damn,
All right, no COVID over here. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Smoke 2.0 podcast, and I hope to see you guys again.